Hey guys, Noelle Foley here with Ringside Collectibles, and it is day one of San Diego Comic-Con 2019, and we are here with the creator of the toys that made us, Brian Volk-Weiss. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you enjoying Comic-Con so far?
Well, I gotta be honest with you. I took the train this morning, 6:05 a.m. train. I've been doing press and our panel all day. Hopefully at 5 o'clock, I'll be able to go to the floor. What I'm really excited about is I'm going to the Expanse party tonight, the Amazon thing. And I'm like, Mr. Never Want to Go to Parties.
Yeah.
I had to work to get this ticket. So that, very excited. Other than the panel, which was bananas, the Expanse party, very excited.
That sounds like it's going to be an awesome time.
It will be. If you're a fan of the show, if you're not a fan of the show, it'll probably be torture.
Yeah.
But if you like the show, it'll be a great party.
Yeah. So what inspired you to make the toys that made us?
It's one of those rare things where, like, I actually remember exactly when and where everything was when it happened. I was in a bookstore. This is like around 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it took me a long time to sell the show. More like a process within a process.
Oh, yeah.
And there was no books on Transformers. There was no books on G.I. Joe. And there was like 12 books on the War of 1812. And I'm like, and again, no disrespect to the War of 1812, but why is there 12 books on the War of 1812? Everybody knows who Optimus Prime is. Everybody knows who Snake. Like, why is there nothing about how did Optimus Prime become Optimus Prime? Yeah. That was the eureka moment. And yeah, that was at least 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a long time and quite a process.
It went by fast. We were
Okay,
doing
well,
other
that's
things.
good.
We were doing other things.
Good,
So
instead of
it
just
went
like
by fast.
waiting there like,
Yeah.
when is the time
That's
gonna
not a good
come?
way to produce. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But did you ever expect the show to be this popular and
No.
go to a season 3?
No. I mean, I was saying for a long time, this is very surreal.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in a dream. Like, it's more than surreal.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I bet.
we had 250 people at the panel last year, and they turned away 500.
Oh.
Today, we had over 2,500 people. No, not over. We had 2,500 people in the room. They turned away over 2,000 people.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you this. I know it to be true. I feel like I'm lying to you. Like, I
believe you.
I cannot believe this. Like, this is so, like I said, it's like I'm in a dream.
That's incredible. That's awesome. What has been your favorite episode so far?
It's got to be Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek is a close second place, but Star Wars, that changed my life. I'm in this business because of Star Wars. We not rebuilt, but we made a replica of ILM for the opening scene. So definitely Star Wars.
Awesome.
And then it's like tied. The other 11 are tied.
They're all tied.
Yeah. That's not true.
What toy lines did you collect growing up?
There's Star Wars, and that was, like I said, in and of its own thing. Then there was Star Trek, G.I. Joe, and Lego.
Okay.
That was really it.
And you weren't a wrestling fan, right?
Until the Toys That Made Us Season 3.
So
Zero.
do you collect wrestling figures now?
I do, but only LJN.
Oh.
Yeah, very specific. I'm obsessed with LJN in general, so that's a part of it. But the part of the story about wrestling toys from LJN's years is like one of the most interesting. It's crazy. The company was crazy. It was always crazy. The wrestling in particular, a great chapter in LJN and wrestling toys history.
Oh,
yeah.
Were you ever into like Hulk Hogan or any of those guys?
Nope, zero. I loved Andre the Giant. He was the only one I liked because of Princess Bride.
Favorite?
Well, I didn't know about him wrestling. I knew he was a wrestler, but I've never seen him wrestle. I loved the documentary on HBO, but that's not when I was a kid. But no, he was in Princess Bride. That's the only reason I knew who he was. Yeah, but I wasn't into wrestling at all.
Well, at least now you are.
Now I am in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am hopefully going to the next WrestleMania.
Oh,
Like I'm converted.
Yeah.
Like I've drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh,
But yeah, as a kid, no, zero.
So have you ever been to WrestleMania before?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it. It's
I'm sure
like
I will.
the best experience.
Yeah, no, I know I will. Like I said, I'm hooked now, but took a while. Took about 43 years.
43
Yeah.
years. Well,
But I got there.
It's never too late to
got there.
start.
Yeah, I got
So
there.
if you're in Tampa, let me know because I'll
Okay.
be there every year.
God love you.
Yeah. What would you consider to be the biggest white whale missing from your collection?
Flicks. Vlix is a very obscure Star Wars character that was only sold in Brazil. They only sold about 200, 2,000. Then there was a fire, and then there was like 20 years. Oh, they burned, yeah. So there's believed to be less than about 500 that exist. To give you an example, I was offered one recently. The entire chest is missing. I was told I could get it for only $3,000. On the card, like still in the packaging, it's about 60 grand now. Yeah.
60 grand?
Yeah. So
That's...
I almost got one this year, but I didn't get it because I misjudged the day of the auction. It was a day earlier, so I missed it, and that went for 58 grand. Yeah.
Would you have paid that much?
Probably.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
crazy?
Yeah, because it's going to go up. So, and I absolutely do not view it as an investment. Like I'm getting it because I want it and it'll make me feel joy.
Yeah.
But at some point, I'm going to be dead. I won't be feeling anything. And then my kids will have something probably worth $250,000.
Wow, smart thinking on your end.
A Boba Fett went last week for $112,000. 2 years ago, yeah, you're in the wrong business. 2 years ago,
You get in this business.
2 years ago, those were going for about 60. So that's the rate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I know it sounds.
It went up that quickly?
Yes. And again, I'm not going to be like, our show made it happen, but it didn't hurt. Yeah.
Your show made it happen.
I don't know,
There you go.
but it didn't hurt. Thank you. You're very kind. But yeah, so I mean, that's the whole thing where it's like, no one, like if I were to be like, I spent 60 grand on Boeing stock,
Yeah.
you wouldn't think that was crazy.
Maybe a little bit.
But you say,
Not as crazy.
yeah, I mean, yes, I know it's Vlix, but still, it would be you're not going to lose money on it.
Yeah. And what made you decide to do an episode around WWE figures?
It's very popular. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is very
That's the honest to God answer.
Yeah.
So I want to make more episodes. Netflix spends a lot of money on letting us make them. I need to justify that with eyeballs. A lot of people like wrestling.
A lot of people,
Yes.
including me. Yeah, my little brother has hundreds, probably thousands of wrestling figures. So they're just like roamed around my house over the year. Thanks to Ringside Collectibles, they were always hooking it up. What can we expect in the WWE figure episode?
You can expect a lot of stories. Kind of what our thing is, we get stories out of people. I love interviewing people who have done 10,000 interviews and they tell the same 9 stories over and over again. We're very good at getting like, yeah, stop with the 9 stories. What about this? Because we do a lot of research and we also pre-interview everybody by Skype. So we could hear you say something, then that person says something about you we didn't know. So by the time we actually come and shoot your interview, we're like, well, what about this? And you're like, I've never been asked that before. And I've been telling this story for 40 years. So we got a lot of good, I don't want to use the word, it's not gossip, but we got a lot of information and stories that I do not think are well known, even by people who are experts on the subject.
And I bet that they appreciate that they're not being asked the same question, so they have something new to say.
Love it. Yes. Yeah. No, they really do.
Yeah, because I can stand behind that because everyone's like, Mick Foley's daughter. I'm like, yeah, I have a name. And they ask the same questions like, oh, did it hurt when your dad fell off the cell? I'm like, can you ask me something else? Ask me where I got my hair done, anything.
So you know.
So we know the founder from Ringside Collectibles as well as Jeremy from Jack Specific will be a part of the episode. Is there anyone else in the wrestling figure world that will be also in it?
Yes, we are not supposed to talk about that. Just Netflix wants us to save some stuff for the show. But we got people that have done a lot of interviews, but I think we got stuff out of them that's never been heard before. And we got a bunch of interviews that have people who have never done interviews before.
That's awesome. And will any wrestlers be on the show?
Some, yes. Yeah, and I don't mean to be cryptic, and I know we're not talking about like CIA stuff, but I got a lot of rules I got to follow on this topic.
Oh, definitely. And which toy figure lines will be included in the show?
Wrestling, believe it or not. Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, My Little Pony.
Oh, My Little Pony, like you mentioned earlier, that you're a big fan of now.
I am now. It's the dangerous thing about being a toy collector and producing a show about toys.
Yes.
Yeah, the collection has grown.
Was WWE involved in the wrestling?
They were not.
Okay.
Yes, they were not.
So it was all you guys.
I mean, it was our whole team, yeah. I mean, a very big team, but yes.
How big would you say the team is?
It's about 30 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So a lot of work goes
Oh,
into
yeah.
it from everybody.
I mean, it's almost a year and a half from start to air. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And WWE superstar Zack Ryder,
Yes.
he recently went to Twitter because he was upset with Toys That Made Us because his emails weren't responded back to after the filming of the show.
So I saw that, so that's why I'm not surprised. But when did he do that? Today?
When did a few weeks ago?
I've not heard that. I mean, I believe you. I have not heard that at all. I hate saying this, but no comment. Yeah, no comment.
No comment, Zack Ryder.
No comment, Mr. Ryder. But I was not aware of that. I was not aware that he was writing emails. A, B, I hadn't heard anything about toys, or that he had said anything about Toys That Made Us. And the fans tell me everything. I mean, I get on a daily basis hundreds of messages saying, "Did you know about this? Did you know about that?" I find it very shocking. No one's, let alone our own crew. Yeah. So I had not.
Maybe he's sending it to like the info email that no one really gets.
It's possible. Yeah, I was not aware of that. I will look into it.
Yes, look into it. And what other toy lines will we be seeing in season 3?
That's it. It's 4 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did 4 episodes of Toys That Made Us, and then we announced a spin-off today called The Movies That Made Us. That's the other 4.
Oh, awesome.
So 8 total.
Wow, that's really exciting.
I think so. I'm biased, but I think so.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.